again.
There we go. My mic's unmuted now. Hi.
Well, no, mine's on. Well, I had mine on mute. Yeah, I had to switch computers. Actually, you know what? It might have been too. I just noticed. Well, no, it's not it. But I was moving the microphone over, and I heard something fall behind the desk,
Oh God.
and what that thing was the actual antenna for the little the little wireless NIC, because the computer I had to buy it. It didn't come with one, so I bought one, and it slides in the back and has this little antenna, but it doesn't stay.
Oh.
That was loud. But yeah, the antenna doesn't stay mounted, so it fell off. So that might be why I have no Wi-Fi.
Okay. I'm trying to get everything up and running, and I've got two computers, and it's totally confusing to me.
So do I look as washed out as it appears that I look to be?
Yeah, you totally are. Yeah.
Why is it? Is the light off of this thing?
Okay, so I would love to have our viewers chat with us. The only problem is that YouTube is not displaying a chat, at least not one that I can see. So I went ahead and set up a YouTube Live link or a YouTube Live page. If the fastest way to get it is just to go to twitter.com/Orbital Podcast, and I link to it there. It's also on our subreddit. So I've got that open in a window. I'm also looking at the Orbital Live hashtag on Twitter if anybody wants to do that. But anyway, let's get the show started because
I didn't realize
we've got a podcast to do.
I didn't realize people were even watching. So where do I go? Because I can't read any of their chats. What's that YouTube channel?
Go to our. Nothing's on the YouTube page. I thought there was going to be, and there really isn't. So go to look at the tweet I just posted, and there's a Reddit live chat. And there are 13 viewers over there, but nobody's saying anything, so who knows if they're actually alive.
Reddit live. Okay. Hey. Cool. I've never done a Reddit live. I have no idea how this even works, the Reddit live thing.
Yeah, I've never played around with it either, so it'll be interesting.
Because like I said, I thought Reddit kind of was live. You post and then you get responses.
Yeah, except it's not actually live. You have to refresh the page. Reddit live is only by time, and it auto-refreshes.
Okay, yeah, that's true. The auto-refresh, okay.
Okay. All right, so... here we go. Okay, so to all our viewers, all 12 of them, welcome. We're going to be recording the show, and then afterwards we're going to do a Q&A. To Steve and Connor, those are two research assistants, if you didn't already know. Steve and Connor, if you guys want to pop onto the show notes page, if you need to get a hold of us quickly, you can just jump to wherever we are and you can type real quick. That's a great place. If you guys see questions that I don't, dump them in there and we can answer them live. Also, to all of our viewers, if we make any mistakes, let us know. We'd love to do corrections right away. But I think we're ready to get the show started, don't you think, Dave?
I think so. I'm just working out the the Reddit live thing. So 1 second. Okay, kind of. Oh, I see. Yeah, there's people here posting stuff, I believe. I think so. Okay, hold on.
Are there? I posted one thing. I didn't see anybody else.
Unless I'm looking at...
Yeah, it says 19 viewers, but I only see one post, so...
See, 4 minutes ago, Mini Elon.
Really? I don't see any of that.
And I just posted testing, and it shows up. So, so if you're looking where that.
Oh, okay, guys. Okay, don't comment on that thread that I just posted. Click on the link, and that'll take you to Reddit Live. So I just got a whole bunch of comments on that post. That's what's going on.
See, I clicked on the link. It says where it says live show is starting. Chat with us on this link, right? Click on that.
Yep.
Well, I did that, and then it takes me to the page where.
Yeah, your URL should say reddit.com/live/gobbledygook.
Nope. It does not say that. It takes me to reddit.com, then you like Orbital podcast comments, and then it says live. Yeah. Okay, hold on one second. I think. Okay, live. Yeah, then the gobbledygook. So where do you post stuff on there? Like,
I don't know.
I see I see the page, but I don't see anywhere to write anything. I see where you said, hi everyone. You wrote that.
Yeah, then there should be a big box up at the top.
I don't see a box anywhere. Are you sure?
Yep. Here you go. Right here.
What are you doing? Hold on. Let me see. Okay, that's what you see.
Yeah, this is what I see. This is what everybody should see.
I do not see that.
Okay, it's it's not that big of a deal because nobody's making use of it. So we'll just press on and see what happens.
Okay. Or if you just want to post on that other link, that's fine by me. I was looking at it.
Yeah, it looks like we've totally confused Steve as well. Okay, well, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. We can look at comments on that thread, whatever.
Yeah.
I think at this point we just need to get the show going because we're wasting daylight.
It's already. Let me turn on my thing here. It's already dark out. Daylight. Okay, so I'm recording. Blah blah blah. Mic is up. So do you have? I didn't look. I keep getting to look. Do you have your pop filter? I can't see.
No, it's not. It's not getting here until after I get back from California.
Oh, wow. That's slow. Did you order that like a week ago?
Yeah, I ordered it a week ago, and I was gonna bump it up to the next shipping level, and it was like $26. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where are you ordering it from?
Amazon.
Amazon, like the actual Amazon rainforest. Why is it taking that long, and why is it that expensive?
I don't know. I probably should have chose a different seller or something. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Are you ready to start recording?
Yep. Speaking of which, hold on one second.
I'm getting a buzz on your mic, and then let me know whenever you're ready, and we can do a synchronizing clap.
I'm ready. Did you check to see if you're getting that that weird buzz that your mic produces? Because last time it did that. Do you have any way of looking like you're recording via Audacity? Does it show? Do you see a thick line? I don't know if it shows you the waveform as you're recording or not, but
yeah, it does. It looks like it is popping.
Well, not so much that it pops, but there's just this constant thicker than usual line, and that means that there's a lot of background static.
Yeah, there is. I don't know what to do about it.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that this blue snowball got dropped or something.
It sucks. Yeah, Ben needs a new mic. Priority 1. I almost dropped this thing. It only weighs like 5 pounds.
Okay, let's try. I just unplugged and plugged it back in. Okay.
If I did this.
Yeah, now it's not even recognizing it. So maybe we just need to go with the test.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, we'll do this.
Okay, looks like we're just doing the Zoom tonight. Test. Hello. Yeah, I got Jack Squat. Let's just use a Zoom.
Okay, you got that going. That's all set.
Yeah. We're boring people at this point.
Who knew that a live recording could be so difficult?
Yeah. Surprise. Okay, you ready to do it?
Yeah. Want to clap?
So I'm recording. Go ahead and clap. Golly, that was loud.
That's a synchronization clap.
Sorry to everybody listening. Yeah, that clap is so that we can sync these files later. Okay, go ahead and do your intro pattern.
Oh yeah, let me get back to the thing here. Oh, you know what might be good if I brought up the show notes. That's a good start. I had them on the other computer, but now I'm on the laptop. Okay. Steve is on Twitter. That's cool. All right. Ready to go. Oh, and there he is on here too. There's a couple people on here. There's Connor and Steve. All right, cool. All right, and we have cleared the tower. Welcome to episode number 10 of the Orbital Mechanics. I'm David.
And I'm Ben.
And this is live. Kind of. Not really.
Yeah, so we're recording this episode live for anybody that's listening to it after the fact.
Yeah. In which case, it's totally irrelevant. I'm going to cough a lot. All right, yeah, so this is kind of exciting. I guess this is what, just to sort of celebrate the fact that this is the 10th episode, so we should do something special. We're in the double digits now. Sure. Yeah, so that only took, 5 months, I guess, if we're doing one every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we've almost been doing this for half a year.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of insane. Well, it does feel like it to me. It actually feels like it's taken that long. All right. Well, I don't know what else to do except to move on to the news, because we have a
Let's do spaceflight news.
All right. Yeah. So I just saw you X'd out something, by the way. So we're supposed to skip that, right? Okay. Cool. Yep. All right. Yeah. And by the way, to anyone who's listening live, this is how much editing we do. We talk a lot and then we cut all that crap out. All right. So, topic number 1, Ad Astra wins a NASA contract for Vasimir. Yeah, this is, I guess, a good thing, right? Do you think it's a good thing?
Yeah, I think it's actually really cool. Vasimir is really cool technology. I think it's something that we need to, we're going to need to use it at some point. Well, maybe that's unfair. I think it's a really cool technology. It's got its drawbacks. People are overhyping it, but I think it has a place in the real world, and we'll get to its heavier criticisms later. But it's really cool. So Vasimir stands for Variable Specific Impulse Magnetoplasma. I'm going to do that again. So Vasimir stands for Variable Specific Impulse Magnetoplasma Rocket. And basically, it's similar to an ion engine, but instead of just spitting ions out the back, it actually heats them up into a plasma and contains them in a magnetic field and then spews them out the back.
Mm-hmm. And there's it works a little bit better than traditional, like the ion engines that we're used to, because there's actually no physical contact, right? That's kind of one of the big selling points. Plus, it's able to, just as you said, it's able to actually vary the amount of thrust, which when I'm coughing, I should have got something to drink. Yeah, so I think the first thing that comes to my mind, of course, is the criticism, which is, what are you going to do with this thing if you can't power it? And that's kind of what concerns me, because it's often touted as, getting to Mars in 40 days, or I think 39 is the exact number. But that's going to require a huge amount of power. Much more than anything that's ever been flown in space. And you need a power density of, I believe, 1 kilowatt per kilogram. Yeah. And what can even provide that, except maybe nuclear?
Well, okay. So let me run through the numbers real quick. 7357 on our subreddit beat me to it, or he beat both of us to it, because he's, he started out as our best commenter, and now he's actually, going into the future. But he linked to a great video on YouTube that's Zubrin talking about the math behind Vasimir. It's actually in the middle of a debate. But we'll link to that in the show notes. But what it comes down to is current technology, we can do 1 watt per kilogram of power creation, which is not horrible. But if you do the math, it turns into a 7-year round trip to Mars. Realistically, in the future, we could probably get up to 25 watts per kilogram. That's a 3-year round trip. Fantasy far term is 100 watts per kilogram, which is the way that he came up with that is it's double. It's double the value for an optimistic far term prediction. And at 100 watts per kilogram of power generation, the best you can do is match the time it takes to do a Hohmann transfer. To get up to 39 days, it requires not the 1 watt per kilogram that we can do today, not the 100 watts per kilogram, which is fantasy, like double our best guess for far term production, but it requires 1,000 watts per kilogram, which is 1 kilowatt per kilogram, which is insane. It's way 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 out there, and it theoretically it could happen, but I mean we're talking sci-fi at that point, and honestly, that's kind of soul crushing to me. It really bums me out that that doesn't work.
Well, I think it just underscores the fact that the next big step that needs to be taken, or where, we need to start concentrating a lot of, funds and research and support is how do you generate that much power in space? And, it probably is going to have to be nuclear powered propulsion of some sort. I don't know what else could even come close. So,
well, I mean, like, it's nice to be able to say that, yeah, nuclear might get there, but even if you're using nuclear, you're going to have huge heat sinks, which is going to add more mass. And not only is it going to add more mass, but it's going to add more delicate mass, which means you have to start planning all of your missions very, very carefully. You can't do aero captures. You can't do anything like that. So I think that, honestly, I think that Vazmir is going to be limited to station keeping.
Yeah, probably.
which is fine. That's totally, totally fine, right? There's no reason why we should expect this to do, crazy, insane things. Just doing station keeping is just fine as far as I'm concerned. If it does the job, let it do the job well, and just, go from there.
I suppose so. I would just like to see it, get us to Mars in record time. But what else can? I mean, I don't know. I think, nuclear propulsion is a problem just because that's going to weigh so much. I don't have the link. Maybe someone already put it in there. But back in the '60s, I think NASA did launch something. It was some sort of nuclear propulsion type device rocket into space, but it was woefully, like underpowered for something like Vazimir. It still doesn't even come close. So you're talking about scaling up to something much larger than that.
Yeah. Well, so the best that we've done with nuclear so far in space is a density of 1 watt per kilogram.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the absolute best. I mean, Curiosity is worse than that. Cassini has an RTG on board, and that's, it's just well, RTGs are always going to be low, but it's just, I don't know. It really sucks because I was so optimistic about this. Just going, oh, we got this great new station keeping technology where we can strap this onto the International Space Station and watch it stay in orbit for ages without refueling. And then a whole bunch of people start piling on and saying 40 days to Mars. And then freaking 7357 comes along and lays down the soul-crushing reality that that's never, ever going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something that I've been used to for years because I had watched that Bob Zubrin vid. I seen that Bob Zubrin video, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I think, and so I had known his thoughts on it for some time. And yeah, you can't argue, with the math on that. It just doesn't work out. So, that's unfortunate. What are you gonna do? I guess not go to Mars in 39 days is one thing.
No, you can go to Mars in 39 days. You're just not going to do it on the Vazmir.
I can't think of anything else that'll do it either. All right.
No, probably not.
should we move on to the next thing? More updates on. I got a frog in my throat. Actually, oh, by the way, a frog landed on me just like 10 minutes ago. I was outside and a frog landed on my back.
Welcome to Florida.
Yeah, I know. I guess it's better than snakes and spiders. All right, so back to opportunity once again. We talked about this a few times, and it's still having problems, huh? It's I guess the problem wasn't fixed.
Yeah.
And I know that you had explained, I guess back in episode 4 or 5 or whatever, less than 10, you had explained that basically the way that the RAM works on these things is that, like if you cut off block 7, which was the one causing the problems, then you should be able to use 1 through 6. Or 0 through 6, right? I think I got that right so far. But that's not working, is it?
No, it's not. Okay. And so we're still having the exact same issue that we were having before. It intermittently is kind of fuzzing out.
So why would it do that, though? I don't understand we understand how, RAM works. It's pretty much the same onboard type of memory, isn't it? I mean, except I'm sure.
I think it comes down to we must have misidentified the problem.
Oh, that could be. So yeah. So what kind of options are there on the table at this point? I mean, you would talk, we were discussing last week how Opportunity was, going to get its funding cut, um, and this just seems to be one more reason to, go ahead and do that. I mean, it's money.
Yeah, I hope not. Well, so at very worst, we can continue doing what we're doing now, which is when we realized that when we initially identified the problem, we went into a no flash mode. We fixed the problem with air quotes, um, and went back into using flash. Now that we're having the flash issue again, we switched back to a no flash mode, and we can operate in a no flash mode forever. That's fine. It just means that all the data that you collect during the day has to be uploaded before nightfall.
Right. Yeah. So this is the old what was it we called it? Oh crap! Don't remember the name of the movie. The guy, Guy Ritchie. Yeah. So basically, Opportunity can only store 1 day's worth of memory, or
Yep.
yeah, I guess I should say. Um, yeah. I mean, is that? I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't know how all the finances work out, but is that actually worth it? Do you still think so? I mean, because I know that you're a big fan of it, so I don't want to say no, but at this point, it's like it's kind of barely chugging along.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers, so I can't say, but my guess is that it's a fine limited mode of operation.
Yeah,
And if you have the choice between limited and nothing, you might as well go with limited. I mean, I don't think that single issue is going to drop it down to the point where it's not worth the money anymore.
yeah, I guess so.
Okay, let me hang on a second. Ollie,
Memento. That's the name of the movie. Memento. Remember that? It's a good movie.
hello everyone. This is my cat. If you hear jingling in the background, it's Ollivander here. So here's what we do: we take off the collar.
Yep. Oh, he's adorable.
There you go, everybody. That's the cat. All right, there you go. So now he'll be a little quieter, but he is going to jump up and try to get this back.
Okay. All right. I'm just refreshing the Reddit thing. I got some things. Okay, that's it. There. Movie calls it a hoax. Ba-dum-ba-dum. You're back on board. I don't remember where we left off with Opportunity.
Yeah, we're done with that topic. We can move on to the next one.
Yeah, except that I did remember Memento. That's the name of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Best. I think
We made that joke last time.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't remember, which is kind of ironic. It's like one of his. I think it's one of his top three Christopher Nolan movies. I want to put it in the top three. Okay.
I like that you couldn't remember. That's oddly appropriate.
Yeah, I should have tattooed it on me somewhere. All right. Okay, and what's the next one? So, all right, yeah. Next up, Canada is considering a deployable vision system for the ISS, and it's called the DDVS, the Dexter Deployable Vision System. So this is something that I'm assuming is going to be mounted on Dexter, which is the creepy-looking robot we had discussed.
Dexter's cute. Dexter's not creepy.
It looks like a giant robot spider to me, kind of. But yeah, this is kind of neat. Okay, I won't skip to the very bottom of our notes here, but I thought that was funny. Okay, yeah. So I couldn't find much information apart from what you had provided. What are the details of how this is going to work? Because
okay.
I haven't seen much.
So at this point, it's just a proposal, but it's called the Dexter Deployable Vision System (DDVS), and the entire idea is to use existing technology to make our robotic operations better. So it's basically just a vision upgrade for Canadarm2 and Dexter, or specifically Canadarm while it's using Dexter. So they're planning on using laser scanning, infrared sensors, high-definition visual cameras, as well as possibly like ultrasound scanning, maybe. And what they're trying to do is just save crew time by not having to spend so much time doing, surface inspections, allowing robots to do that. and basically they think that this is a good way to spend our time learning for future robotic missions, which makes a heck of a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I think anything that limits having to go outside of the station, that's a good thing, and that is kind of what the Canadarm was.
Uh-oh, we lost David.
Originally designed it some sort. But
Hi, welcome back.
I think I'm losing my connection. Surprise.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if anyone heard.
And there he goes again. Okay, so everyone, this is what we have to deal with every week while we're waiting for David to find a new apartment with better internet. So we're just going to sit here and wait until David comes back. So if worse comes to worse, and his connection has been really good so far. If worse comes to worse and his connection totally craps out, I think we'll be able to switch over to audio only. But that might actually not work because I was playing around with it earlier, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to work. David! Great. Oh. Well, hey. No? Okay, so he's got a little bit of internet. Connor wants me to put out an APB. Oh, yeah. Steve's got a really good point. Thank you guys so much for sticking through this. I don't think we lost a single viewer when he cut out, so I just must be that good looking. Oh, yeah. Connor wants me to point out that we've got a robotic host. Oh, maybe he wants me to swap out to a robotic host. David. Oh, boy. Okay, I think we need to start looking at contingency plans at this point. Okay, let's try texting him. Oh, thanks, Connor. Connor says that he's not sure if I'm that good looking or if it's really just that everybody's waiting for David to come back. And he disconnected. Okay. Steve, no, I'm not going to continue because we're recording this. And, it's got to go into the actual podcast. Okay. Connor says that episode 11 will be done via Ouija board. He's back!
I'm back. Okay.
Everybody, he's back!
I'm back.
You didn't lose a single fucking viewer.
Really? That's impressive. Thanks, guys. You guys are more patience than I think I would have had. Yeah, I had to do something that I'm assuming it worked. I won't say what. I know I think I made a tweet or something. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I have to speak quietly. I don't want anyone to know, but I'm using, let's just say that Linux is great. You can do things with it to networks. Let's just say that there are other people who live here who are not using their internet right now. I'm not. I am not going to
Don't
put
say
that.
that.
Yeah, I'm totally not going to put that on the final. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, so let's get back into it. Okay.
Okay. Where? Yeah. Where were we?
We were almost done with DDVS.
Okay. Um, okay, DDBS. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what all you said. I guess, yeah, it's stuff. Well, what was I saying? Okay, so answer this question because I think you didn't hear it. So, for the third time, except for the first time, I guess, among the many things that this system is capable of, you said something about some kind of like sonar or something like that. Is that correct? Did I hear that correctly? Or some
Yeah,
kind of
not
ultrasound?
probably ultrasound.
But how does that work in a vacuum?
So, well, yeah. So what you do is you put something right up against a bit of metal. It might be sonar, it might be radar. I don't exactly remember. Honestly, DDVS is all proposals at this point, so who knows what it's actually going to look like. But we can do metal stress testing with either X-rays or radar or sonar. I don't remember which it is, but we can, scan bits of metal and see stress lines, and I think that's a capability that they're hoping to include.
Okay, that makes sense. Isn't that kind of how you search for stress lines and cracks in like airplane wings and stuff like that?
Yeah,
And I know that that's something that they do.
yeah,
And
exactly the same thing.
yeah. So that should totally work in space. Um, that's awesome. Okay. So should we move on to the next one? We're kind of going through these actually surprisingly quickly. I was thinking we are going to take a lot longer, but maybe something about the live, ambiance keeps us from rambling too much. It's not working on me though. Or do you have anything? Oh, well, okay. So let's talk a little bit about the cited goals of this whole of the DDVS, the Dexter Deployable Vision System. So, yeah,
Or one in particular.
yeah, one
I know
particular.
there's one in particular that you're looking at.
Because you okay, so you had already mentioned most of them, but the last one, and I don't know if you put this in there. I mean,
No,
is this you? Okay, someone wrote this in here.
no,
What was
no.
the
This is straight from CSA, the Canadian Space Agency.
Okay, so the Canadian Space Agency has among its many goals. This is to inspire Canadians. So this has got to be, yeah, DDVS. How quaint. I don't know if we have any Canadian listeners. I'm sure we do. But yeah, to inspire Canadians. They actually wrote that down like it's on a piece of paper. I mean, it's one thing if you talk about it, because obviously that's what we do here in the States, I mean, that's what spaceflight is for, to inspire people, among other things, obviously. But they wrote it down. So inspiring Canadians, that's like on like the mission manifest.
Well, and that's not an unusual thing for CSA to do. They do that all the time. If you ever listen to Chris Hadfield speak, he's always saying this is going to inspire Canadians, and I love. He's always saying I love when Canadians come to me and say how inspired they are. It's pretty common for them to say that kind of thing, but it cracks me up every time I see it. I mean, it's great. Like that's fantastic. I wish that we had. I wish that our patriotism looked like their patriotism.
Yeah. They have. So they have. Yeah, because they have Canadarm, and they have poutine. Do you know what that is? No.
Oh, I love poutine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm actually highly critical of American poutine because it's never good enough.
No, yeah.
I've had like maybe one poutine that's good enough. But yeah, what are you gonna do?
Not much. Okay, so moving on here to the next one. Okay, so let's talk again about Messenger. Again, this is something else that we just talked about, I don't know, some episodes ago, and we were in. So the end of the mission date is set for April 30th. And as I recall,
just a second. For the live viewers, we're going to cut this out. But was that Steve? He added onto our show notes. He says payload manifest item number 47 : inspiration 0.1 kilograms.
Wow, it weighs 0.1 kilograms, and freedom costs $1.05. These are great.
Well, wait, how much does a companion cube weigh? Because
a what? I don't know.
How much does a companion cube weigh? Because I think it weighs more than 0.1 kilograms.
I don't know what that is. I'm missing out on something, aren't I?
Tough. Yes, that's geek pop culture. That's Portal.
Portal. Oh, like you mean as in the game?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, never played it. Looks fun.
It's fantastic.
Companion cube. All right, I googled it. I don't know how much they weigh, but yeah, they look cool. All right, and what do they do? I probably shouldn't ask.
They're your best friend.
All right.
You won't understand until you play the game. Like it's kind of an inside joke.
Okay. All right.
All right, you ready to move on to Messenger?
So yeah, let's talk about Messenger. Okay, so moving on to Messenger, which we had talked about some episodes ago. It does have now a final set end of mission date, which is April 30th. It was kind of up in the air a little bit because it's very hard to do all the the math on exactly how long you can keep it up. So yeah, so this is finally coming to a close, and as the listeners might recall, this is a spacecraft that was being kept in orbit around Mercury in a very novel way. They were basically venting the gases that were used, I believe, to what is I'm trying to say, the compressive, the gases that are used to provide the back pressure. I believe it was helium, actually, or it
Yeah,
might
I
have been
think
nitrogen, but I think it was helium. Yeah, so that's what was keeping it up. But anyway, so what has been going on for the past several months is the orbit of this spacecraft has been basically it's been raised because it's essentially spiraling closer and closer to the surface, getting as low as what is the perigee or the para whatever the para. I don't know what you say for Mercury.
Paramerc.
Para, yeah, para.
What's
Well,
Mercury in Greek?
there's Hermes, right? So it's
Paraherm.
Parahermian? Sure. So the parahermium has been getting as low as I think just like I want to say like 12 kilometers, something like that. It was in here, but now it's not in the notes.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not in there anymore. We spent I spent a lot of time.
Yeah, I did take it out. But yeah, so it's been spiraling ever closer. And
Oh,
now this is
no, here it is. They my indents just got fucked up.
okay. Yeah, so this is an effect that is caused by the sun because obviously Mercury being so close to the sun, there's a lot of like tidal effects and so forth, and it's just it's pretty much impossible to keep anything in orbit around Mercury apparently. So it does have a limited life, and it's going to impact the surface. I don't know if it's going to happen on April 30th, but that is the end of the mission. So I should probably read a little bit more of the article here. Yeah, I'm doing my research live. It's kind of
That's the way this show works.
Yeah.
We always ask questions that we can't answer.
Yeah. And then it's just a lot of silence. Yeah. Closest approach in altitude 25. Yeah, so about 17 miles or 27 kilometers. That's the closest approach.
Well, okay, so I can give you some numbers while you're looking that up.
Yeah, actually, I found some numbers. It says at this time yesterday, as of the writing of this article, which was April 3rd, it had reached a perihelion or parahermion of 5.5 kilometers. How insane is that you could be in orbit around something at that altitude? Anyway, go ahead and read some numbers if you want.
Yeah, okay, so OCM3, which is orbital correction maneuver, on OCM 13 was March 18th, which pushed the periaps all the way up to 34.4 kilometers. By April 2nd, which is when they did OCM 14, it had degraded all the way down to 5.5 kilometers. And OCM 14 pushed the periapsis back up to 27.5 kilometers. So OCM 15 was designed to use all the extra hydrazine that we had. It was actually going to be using thrusters that hadn't been used since they captured, I believe, or maybe before capture. They're thrusters in the heat shield they were going to be using, which is an odd thing to do for this type of a burn. And they were going to use everything they had left And then after that, they were going to start dumping helium overboard, which is what we talked about.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, when they started OCM-15, they uh, they totally ran out of hydrazine.
Oh,
So
well, there we go.
OCM did not occur. Oh, and this has got to be Steve. I believe it's Steve is saying that it's perihersinon.
Para, where is that?
Perihersinon. Perihersinon. It's got to be perihersinon, right?
Para, where does that come from? That's not Greek. I mean, it kind of
That's
sounds like,
Hermes.
well, it kind of sounds like, yeah, para, paraherm. And where's he? Did he write that in the notes? Paraherms,
Yeah.
parahersinon.
Yeah, look at his gray text down here. Perihersinon.
Paraher, parahersinon. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to stop trying to sound that word out. So we have a new word, parahersinon. Okay.
Yeah.
Crap. What were you saying there? Yeah. So they ran out of hydrazine, and yeah. So now they're basically running on fumes or helium, and once that's gone, then it's going to make a big crash. Sorry.
Not a very big crash. I mean, it's not that big of a
Well, no,
spacecraft.
but it'll be smeared all over the mercurial, whatever. This is difficult. I don't know any adjectives for Mercury. Um, yeah. So that's sad. So say goodbye to Messenger as well. In addition to Opportunity, maybe. We're just losing all these little space probes, huh?
You know what? They have all done amazing jobs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Their time. Their time has come.
yeah, as a space papa, I'm very very proud. I'm proud to say that my species created these guys, and they're really fantastic robots. So
Yeah. All right. You want to move on to number
yeah.
whatever?
So just for the live folks, a little peek behind the curtain, that mysterious podcasting curtain. We X'd out two possible articles. We just decided to skip over them. One was the SpaceX and Sierra Nevada Corporation's gifting of extra time to finish the CCI cap milestones, or not CCI cap. What's the next one? Commercial, whatever the next commercial crew is.
Wait.
They got extra time. And then we were also going to talk about. I wanted originally to talk about Blue Origin's test of BE3, but there's just not enough content to really talk about that. So we're going to.
Yeah, and I figured that would cause the show to run too long. I guess it was just you that took this out because I didn't take them out, but I'm very glad that you did. I was happy.
Did.
Okay, yeah.
I made an executive call.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, this is too much to talk about. So good on you for taking that off. But we do still get to talk about SpaceX a little bit. Have we mentioned SpaceX at all yet? No, I don't think we have.
Wow.
Yeah, this is also one of those Blue Moon episodes or something or other. Yeah, this is for like, I don't know how long into it. This is the first time we've talked about anything having to do with SpaceX. That never happened. All right, we'll be writing some other stuff in there. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking to myself because I'm reading what he's writing in the show notes, which most people can't see. So there's just a lot of talking to yourself and editing for me afterwards.
Yeah. Steve's just confirming that he thinks that it is CCI cap.
Okay.
CCT cap. Yeah. Whatever.
Crew transportation, whatever.
Don't give a shit.
Okay, yep. So let's move on to the next thing. Dragon 2 abort test. It is falling into place, according to Phil McAllister, and I guess more specifically according to Jeff Faust. As far as I can tell, this is the only source we have. There's not really anything on this except for a couple of tweets.
So here's what happened. Jeff Faust was at a press briefing.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally trust Jeff Faust to report this. But he's saying, he was he made a couple of tweets, and we'll link to these tweets. He made a few tweets quoting Phil McAllister, who's the special assistant for program analysis at NASA. So one of the head honchos. And he said some cool things.
He didn't seem to have said. He didn't seem to have said too much. Because I can't find any information apart from that. Apart from the quote from Jeff Faust, which is that SpaceX is quote unquote running to ground some valve issues. That is what he said. Beyond that, there's not really much more information. I mean, did you get anything else falling into place. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And running to ground. Are those puns? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, this is pretty much all I got. So let me actually talk about this. So he said that SpaceX pad abort, test article in good shape, but SpaceX still running to ground some valve issues. What a shock! Valves are tricky.
Mhm.
Um, the only thing that's trickier than a valve is a turbopump, which is a giant
Yeah.
valve. And then he also said the in-flight abort test, which will be on a full-fledged Falcon 9, that's planned for September. And it's actually going to use the same test article as a pad abort, which is really cool because that's talking about reusability.
Mhm.
If we're even going to be reusing our test articles, that sounds pretty good to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, in the next couple of days, we're going to know a thing or two, hopefully, about reusability. Fingers crossed, we're going to have some solid evidence that it is possible. We'll talk about that later, though. Yeah, so not much to go on here then, really, huh?
No, but it's worth talking about, I think. Uh-oh. Well, somebody's
But
off to
yeah,
go.
so
Oh,
SpaceX.
there you go. Hi.
There you go.
You,
Are
you
you back?
cut out there. I figured you were off to go do some more Linux voodoo.
Yeah, well, I just did. I have it all set up on the side here, so okay. Hopefully, it'll help. I'm not. No, I'm not always entirely sure that that's what the problem is. That like people are hogging up bandwidth because sometimes it doesn't seem that that's the issue because I'm looking and I'm not seeing like anyone else on the network. Anyway, yeah. So what were you saying? Go ahead.
I was just saying that yeah, this is just kind of cool info, really.
Yeah, yeah. So not a whole lot to say there because there just isn't a whole lot of information yet. All right. And
Connor had a ticker that was hours. It was counting up the time since we had David's video cut out, and he just went and changed it down to 0.
hours since David lost. Oh, okay. Keeping a ticker. Yeah, it'll happen again. Trust me. We got maybe like 5 minutes or so. I don't know. So maybe we should just keep on plugging along here. This is actually surprisingly good for Friday night, like because the assumption is that the assumption is that everyone is out partying. I mean, you probably can't hear it, but there's like music in the distance because I live really close to downtown. There's like little bands playing and people partying and drunk people on the street. It's like it's not as bad as living in downtown New Orleans, but it's like the next best thing or worst thing. So I figured no one's home, but someone is, and yeah, they're using up a lot of bandwidth. All right, so what's the next thing to talk about? Oh, so we want to do questions and
We're
comments
done.
and corrections. Okay.
Yeah, unless anybody had any news items that we missed.
Um,
Because
if they did I yeah whatever we'll do it next week, right? Okay, so yes, let's just go ahead and move on to questions, comments, and corrections. Correction burns, if we have any. I don't think that we do, but we do have some stuff to put out here.
Yeah.
You, I believe, had written all of this stuff in here. First off, you can say her name because I don't know how you know how to say it. So go ahead and take.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I like to share some links if I can. And so here's some cool stuff that I've got. I've just got 3 things here that I want to point out. First is Amy Shear Title. She's so cool. Go check her out. She runs Vintage Space on YouTube. And her Twitter handle is AST Vintage Space. But she's doing this really cool thing. She's done this before. Excuse me. She's done this before where she will live tweet a historical mission. And so this Saturday, which is April 11th, which is probably going to be after the show comes out.
No, before the show comes out, you mean?
Yeah. The show will come out. Anyway.
Yeah.
So on Saturday,
except for people listening now. But go ahead. All right.
Yeah, I'm ignoring them for this.
Okay.
So it will have started by the time you're listening to this, but on Saturday, April 11th, she's going to start live tweeting Apollo 13, which means that she's going to post probably launch footage, and then actually beforehand she'll probably do a countdown talking about the pre-launch activities. And she'll post a launch video, and then she'll do cool things like tweet Miko, Seiko, and tweet when all these burns are happening. She'll be tweeting um, really cool any videos or photos that they take. She'll post them at the time that they took them. She'll be posting cool quotes from the radio logs. It's so cool. So go check her out. She's on Twitter, and she's AST Vintage Space.
Yeah, I've watched some of her videos. They're very well produced. I don't know how she does them exactly, but they're like top. They're very high quality, like
Yeah.
way better than what we do by comparison, even with just audio. So it's title, right? Not title.
Right, yeah, it's
Okay.
Amy Shear title,
Got
and
it.
I'm a big fan.
Yep.
So the second link I have is on the SpaceX subreddit. I'm sure a lot of our listeners have already seen this,
Hmm.
but Ecologic, who's a user over there, a power user, he's probably the biggest SpaceX fan I can name. But Ecologic laid out a really cool best idea of what it costs to get on a SpaceX launch. And he did some math, he did some history, he took some quotes and built a really cool article that's worth checking out. So check out that link in the notes.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's really extensive. I read the whole thing and the comments, and I didn't read it. I mean, I would probably have to reread it a couple times because there's a lot that goes into it. So I'm going to go ahead and go with his assessment. I think he's done enough research and homework to know what I think he knows what he's talking about, at least better than I do about this. But yeah, can I mention one thing though? Because I noticed some comments below that article, and there's a lot of talk about how much these launches are going to cost, and then there's a lot of talk about how much the rockets cost to actually make. And I think one thing, and I would like to also point this out because in the next couple of days, hopefully we will be watching a Falcon 9 first stage land on a barge. Let's fingers crossed for that. But crossing my fingers. So one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, and I'm just going to go ahead and make this. I'm going to make a wild prediction here. But so the current cost of a Falcon 9 first stage, at least, just the first stage, I don't know exactly what it is. But let's say like $50 million. It's probably a little bit high. I don't know. But let's say for the sake of argument that it's 50 million. If it's made or if this thing can be landed multiple times, I would expect the price of that first stage to actually go up as far as the production of it, because at that point you can start building a much more, solid, robust vehicle that can land more and more times, like as a result of those changes. And because I saw a lot of confusion on the subreddit about, like exactly why the price has to come down and come down, but that's not how things work, really. I mean, like if you look at let's just take like a giant jet aircraft. The common example is a Boeing 747. I think like the top models cost something like $350 million. That's way more than a Falcon 9, and yet it's not a big deal because they can be flown many many times. So why would a Falcon 9 first stage cost any less and instead not cost more? I mean, does that make any sense? Because I would just like to get some thoughts
yeah,
on that.
I see what you're saying. Honestly, I don't know how much they can do to change Falcon 9 at this point.
Well,
There are always going to be little additions that they're doing.
yeah.
But I think that if the launch cost or if the construction cost goes up in order to promote reusability, like you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably going to end up being such a different vehicle that it's at least going to be Falcon 2.0, right?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's probably going to be Falcon 9 or something else. Might
Right.
be BFR, might be MCT. We don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't think that they're going to put anything in the middle.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess I should have amended that. So I'm not necessarily talking about the Falcon 9, but I'm just saying like any first stage new like reusable vehicle, just like any rocket that they produce that can be used multiple times. I would expect the costs to go up because, again, just going back to that stupid plane analogy, I think if a Boeing 747 could only be flown once, it would probably cost like $30 million, and it would cost like 40 million to get a ride. But instead, it's the exact opposite, and then some. It costs a whole lot more to build, but you can use it thousands and thousands of times. Um, so yeah, I mean that's just how I see it. Now, I'm not saying that they have anything specifically in mind because right now they probably don't know what kind of changes have to be made because they haven't flown these stages multiple times. So that's something that's just going to take time to learn. But I think as the years go on, I guess I guess my prediction is 5 or 6 years from now, let's say, you can expect those first stages to cost more. It might not be a Falcon 9; it could be something completely different. But I just whatever it is, it's probably going to cost more and not less. But that's okay because it's going to be used. I don't know, maybe just 2 or 3 times. Like at first 2 or 3 times, then eventually 10, 15, 20. I mean, maybe that's way out there, just not even practical. I have no idea. But that's just it. We
Yeah.
don't know. We don't have any data points. We don't know how often a vehicle can be reused because it hasn't even been done once. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm just going off on a tangent. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's all speculation, and I don't even know what they're thinking at this point. But yeah, I think that what you're saying is probably accurate. I just don't know if it's going to be Falcon 9 that we see
yeah,
going out. But yeah, that's a good observation, I think.
yeah. I mean, who can say for the future as far as that goes? Anyway, what was the next
Uh,
thing?
okay, so the next thing I had was something that I titled "1,000 Times Better Than Helmet Cams: GoPros in Space." So on the last three spacewalks, excuse me, I think it was 30, 31, and 32. Might have been 29, 30, and 31, but I think it was the first three 30s. Um, uh, Terry Virts took a specially encapsulated GoPro out on his walk with him. And NASA just released edited footage. It's not the entire thing, but it's darn near unedited, I think.
Mhm.
And it's absolutely incredible um, to see a spacewalk in high def. It gives you a much better feeling of scale. Um, it gives you a much better feeling of the complete lack of air resistance on cables flying around. It's the most amazing experience I've had in a long time.
Mhm.
Was sitting with this video full screen in the dark because I took it into the bedroom and put it on my bed and laid on my stomach so I could get the screen right in my face in a dark room and just sit there and kind of feel like you're floating. It's really really incredible. I also put a link into the remote manipulators episode, which was episode 2, I think.
Yes, two or three. Two.
It went
Yeah.
docking and birthing, and then I think it was remote manipulators after that. But I want to put a link into those show notes because there's really good footage of the latching end effector because they greased it up. And while he was waiting between tasks, Terry turned on his GoPro and pointed it right inside the end effector, and it's really good,
Yeah.
a really good shot.
So these GoPros, you would say that it had to be put inside like a little encapsulated type of device of some sort. Because I'm just wondering because GoPros are famous for just being so rugged and so durable. They can pretty much withstand anything, but apparently they're not built for the vacuum of space.
No, they actually they work fine in the vacuum of space.
Okay, it's just that it needed, I guess, a special mount. Then is
Yeah. So first off, I think that there was a case so that I think it probably made the button bigger, the record button on the front.
oh yes,
I
we can,
think it
I can
also
find it.
added a big place to clip your tether,
Hmm.
and it might have had radiation shielding.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I, I don't know. This is completely off the top of my head. Don't quote me.
Mhm.
I don't believe that the case was airtight. Um,
Well, I don't watch much TV, but I can certainly see a GoPro commercial featuring this footage. I mean, that is the coolest thing ever. That yeah, you can take this footage from space with a GoPro
yeah,
camera.
yeah.
Although the accessories are expensive, as I understand it. I've never owned one, but yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, so um, awesome link. I was actually just watching it a little bit right now, and I didn't experience any lag. So apparently, I can handle the bandwidth. Um,
Okay.
da, 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 da,
Yeah,
da.
your video looks really really good.
It does? Okay. I'm not even watching yours because I'm looking at the notes. Actually, yours is looking pretty good too now. It's looking a whole lot better. Um, yep. And Okay, I'm refreshing my thing. I don't know what comments there are. Not too many. Okay, moving on, I guess, to...
Yeah, the only comment so far that has really been of note is on Twitter. Steve, one of the silent members of the podcast, posted some Star Trek screen caps,
Ooh, I like that.
which
That's...
I find highly appropriate.
I'm not... Hold on, now I have to... Sorry, now I'm gonna have to go look.
Yeah, I retweeted them, but if you just look in our notifications,
Uh, Star Trek screen cap. Star Trek. Yes. Oh, that's nice. Yes. Anything with Picard in it, it's automatically awesome. That's really good. Okay, sorry.
okay.
I
Did
wouldn't
you
take it
want to talk
last.
about this last one? Or do you want me to do it?
Let me go back to the notes here. Da, 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 da. Matches on here. Did you put that one in there?
Yep.
Okay, you did. Wow, this was such a big show from, like, I don't know, a week ago that I didn't really put anything because I dare not add anything to it. Which means that I'm not always up to... Yeah, you can go ahead and do it because I'm not sure what we're looking at. Although I'm reading
Okay.
about it right now.
So last episode, 2 episodes ago, when we were talking about atmospheres, we talked a little bit about flames on Mir, or matches. And anyway, Reddit user Slinglot on our subreddit posted a link to a movie called Mere Mortals, MIR Mortals.
I get it.
And he thinks that in that they show footage of cosmonauts lighting matches. And it's through BBC iPlayer, so technically you have to be in the UK. I will be watching it through undisclosed means.
Okay.
But I haven't gotten to yet. I am
Does it
totally looking
involve an
forward
onion?
to it.
Okay, anyway. Go on.
But that we'll put that link to the comment into the show notes. So if you're interested in potentially watching some matches on Mir, go check that out.
Yeah. If you can. Okay. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Then we have our upcoming spaceflight events. Or do you want to mention yours tonight? Because who was it? Steve? I'm not sure who's in here, but we can.
Let's do that in upcoming spaceflight events.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it is an upcoming spaceflight event, and I will be appropriately, hopefully, at KSC when that happens.
Yeah.
All right. So this is this is where we do. Okay, go ahead and talk.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say this is where the like the other segment is playing, and we're gonna come in from that.
Blah, blah.
So this is gonna be
for all of our live viewers. If you didn't notice, we're not doing our big topic right now. Our big topic for the show is going to be single stage to orbit vehicles and SSTO technology. Just kind of a big overview, nothing too terribly specific. Apparently there's an IRC channel up and running. Okay, cool. Good for you guys. I don't have an IRC client. Honestly, next time I think we're probably going to think this through more, I think is the word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to start somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. I knew that this was going to be a shit show. Anyway, so for those viewing, we record every week. 1 week we do the show, the next week we do the big topic, because the big topics aren't time sensitive and the show is. Mm-hmm. If and when we go to, we both really want to go to weekly shows. If that happens, we may or may not double the number of big topics that we do. We may just do big topic and news 1 week and then a short show with just news. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. If you guys have any good ideas for that, let us know. Honestly, editing takes up so much of David's time that we're not going to do that.
Well, you know, my hope is that we'll get good enough at it that somehow, and I'm completely in awe of those who can, because there are certain podcasts that actually record live, and they even have people in chat rooms and everything, and there's really no editing. I mean, it like pretty much goes out within like 2 hours or so. Now this is like highly this is like, like people who really know what they're doing. I'm thinking of one guy in particular whose podcasts I listen to. It's all about Linux. Surprise, surprise. But so I think if we can get it down to that, that level of automation, and we just don't stray from the topic, and we can be personable on air, which we're working on, then yeah, we can probably do it with very little trouble. But right now, it does actually require a lot of editing, and and plus I have to put the music in, which takes time, and I have to do the intro, outro, and all that crap. That's all I get. That's just all a bunch of Audacity time. So yeah, that takes up time. But anyway, maybe we can get that down to a reasonable, just maybe I can do it within a couple of hours, and then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But right now, it's like if I really just sat down and went straight at it, I could probably get it done in like 4 or 5 hours. But it's really, it kind of drains the.
Dude. Yeah, buddy. Believe it or not, you guys, this is the best connection we've had basically since starting the show. We've had a couple of nights where internet's just not been working. I've had to call this motherfucker. Oh, can I hear you? I can hear a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to see if I can do something here. I don't know if this is what's causing the problem, but yeah, you completely froze up, or rather, I did. I don't know if anything's happening. All right, I'm back. All right, well, I can see you. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
you're fine.
Oh,
you're fine.
okay. Okay, cool. Well, then where were we? I thought that I almost completely lost my connection.
We were just bullshitting. There's nothing really.
All right. So, okay, looks like you're typing and chatting away.
Yeah. So I'm on an IRC channel. If you go to where'd it go? Oh, you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It actually says that you're logged in twice. If you go to synirc.net, synirc, and then click chat with us in the sidebar, and then use hashtag spaceflight to define your chat room, you can jump in there. And guys, we're almost done. This is where we'd be doing the big topic. We're gonna wrap up with spaceflight events, and then our sign off. And then I want to get Steve and Connor on the call. Eventually, we're gonna do an actual interview, but I wanted to bring them on, and then you guys can ask us questions, or we can chat for a little bit before everybody has to go to bed, I guess.
Yeah. It's Friday. Come on. It's Friday night. Yeah, I'm glad you can do that. So you're going to bring them on, and this will work.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll be fine. You might not be able to handle it, but I think you will. I think it'll be fine.
I think so.
Google Hangouts is pretty optimized. They're doing pretty good.
Yeah, so far it's been surprisingly good.
All right, so let me know whenever you're ready to start going again, because I'm ready.
Yeah, no, I'm ready to go. Okay, so we're going to be doing upcoming spaceflight events?
Yeah, you want me? I'll just do the intro, because we've got...
If you want. Okay.
Yeah. All right, welcome back. No, I'm not going to do that. Cut that.
No. Yeah, no one's going to know.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have some upcoming spaceflight events, and I'm really excited to say that our upcoming spaceflight events are brought to you by twitter.com/nextlaunch. It's a fantastic Twitter channel. Twitter channel?
Nope.
It's a fantastic Twitter account that tweets Exactly what you think it's going to tweet. It tweets the next launch that's coming up. And I talked to the owner, and they are now providing all of our launch data. And that's really fantastic. So our upcoming space flight events are brought to you by Next Launch on Twitter.
Yes, and that is a big help.
That
Sorry.
it's really cool,
Yeah.
and we got a lot of really good data. We're not going to talk about too much of it this show just because of the way that things worked out. But yeah, we got some good stuff, and because of this, we're going to have some more info in the show notes, more links.
Yeah, definitely, because I don't want to discuss all of this. See, I don't think I've mentioned it because I always edit it out. This can get kind of boring for me. All these, I mean, there's some cool upcoming launches, but then there's some where you're like, or events that are cool, but then there's some launches where I just kind of don't care, so I just want to go through them as quickly as possible. Yeah. So with that in mind, you want to start with the first one, which is a cool one. So we will talk about this. And someone just put this in here, by the way. I think it was Steve. I'm not sure. Sorry if I'm getting the person wrong. I wasn't paying attention. But we almost forgot that Yuri's Night is coming up, and it's on April 12th. And
yeah, we would be very remiss to forget Yuri's Night. And yeah, that's April 12th. And a really cool factoid that I think somebody points us out every year, and I always forget. STS-1. The greatest test flight in the world, the greatest test flight in history, launched on Yuri's Night. It's April 12th. Yuri flew 1961, and STS-1 flew 1981.
Yeah, and I guess that was just more of a coincidence than anything, right? I doubt they were doing it.
Yeah, it's probably
the Cold War.
I don't think anybody argued.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the 54th anniversary of Yuri Gagarin's Vostok 1 flight, the first human in space.
And so what that
All right, so while he's flaking out, should I get the cat back on?
As a party. This is like the night. This is actually going to be the night before the launch because it's actually a 2-day event. So I'm going to be there. And I didn't know it was going to be Yuri's Night, so I don't know if they have anything special going. I have no clue, but we'll see. But yeah, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. So do you want to talk about why you're going to be at JPL?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that. Like, I can talk
not
about
it. JPL, JSC. Sorry.
JSC. Yeah, well, I was thinking I can talk about that, but because this is going to go out after that, like the next day or the next day, it's going to kind of be a moot point. So we can talk about it the next episode, I suppose. But I'm going to be tweeting about it. So, and in fact, for anyone listening right now, I'll be sending out tweets just to make sure that you know. But I'm assuming that because of the little schedule that they gave me, I'm going to be at some point I'm going to be in a kind of press room, and I'm sure we've all seen this on like TV. There's going to be a bunch of reporters or whatever. I'm assuming that that's where I'll be. So if you want to tweet questions that you want me to ask, let me know. I'll be glad to ask them.
Talking about NASA Social for CRS-6. You didn't say that yet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. I'm skipping ahead. I'm just assuming that you all know what you can't read minds. Yeah. So I'm going to the NASA Social for CRS-6, which is launching on the 13th. It's a 2-day thing, so I'll actually be there on the 12th as well as the 13th. So yeah, so we've all seen on NASA TV how they, you have a certain event and then you have a press briefing afterwards and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be at that. So if you have any questions to ask me, tweet me those questions. That will probably be the easiest and quickest way to get a hold of me. I doubt I'm going to have my laptop there. I'm not planning on really bringing it. I'm not that hardcore. I'm not like an actual reporter. So I'm just going to have my little phone, and I'll just maybe be standing in a corner somewhere. But any questions you want me to ask, or just let me know, because I'm here to do that, or I'm going to be there to do that for you. I can't think of any cool ones off the top of my head, so I would welcome any suggestions. And I'll be tweeting photos and things. They're going to do like a little tour of the like the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building, and some other interesting landmarks and so forth. And I've never been. I mean, I've been to KSC, but I've never been to those parts of it. So it's going to be really exciting for me. So I'll be hopefully tweeting. I'm not much of a picture taker, but I'm like really going to do both. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to tweet. I'm going to totally be there in the moment, and at the same time, letting the world know, I guess, as well. Anyway, that's just so that's what I'll be doing on Yuri's Night and the following day.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're probably going to cut that from the episode
Yeah,
because
we'll cut that out. That's fine.
yeah, yeah. But for anyone listening right now, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
really, really cool.
Okay.
Okay, so our first launch is on April 15th. This is at 1943 hours Universal UTC. Isn't it Universal Coordinated Time?
It should be no. That's right. I don't. It might be.
Oh, it's probably not English, is it?
Yeah, I was thinking probably French. You know, like Universal Coordinate. I don't know.
Okay, so our first launch is April 15th. This is 1943 hours Universal Coordinated Time, which for Americans is 3:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to see an Ariane 5 fly with Thor 7 and Sickle 2. We talked about these guys last show or the show before. Yeah, I don't believe it was delayed. I think we just talked about it early.
Maybe we did, or this could be Thor 7, and we talked about Thor 6.
No.
I don't. There's like a lot of Thors I remember mentioning.
That's
Okay,
no, that's not what's it.
okay.
Yeah.
We never know.
Go-
That could be-
Go ahead and start the next one and just cut
Okay.
them together so it sounds real smooth.
Okay. April 24th, the next one, April 24th at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time is going to be the Falcon 9 V1.1 version 1.1 carrying the Turkmensat 1. And I feel like we talked about this one too last week. I remember mentioning Turkmensat, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Or I think that got pushed back.
No, Turkmensat has been pushed back a million times.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's been pushed back quite a few times. So that's that'll be happening, and that's launching from Cape Canaveral from SLC 40, otherwise known as Slick 40,
Yep, Slick 40.
Yeah.
Yep.
So next
So
one.
pretty cool. The next one is April 28th, and this is 0709 hours Universal Coordinated Time, or 3:09 in the morning
Yeah, just do that one.
Eastern Time. You don't like Universal Coordinated Time?
No, it's fine, but I live on the East Coast, so
Steve points out that was that Steve or Connor? Somebody in the IRC pointed out, I don't understand time. Guys, let me take a second and explain to you why I don't understand time zones. So first off, I've got mild dyslexia. I swap numbers around all the time, and numbers don't have values to me. So I have to really concentrate on numbers for them to actually place themselves in any meaningful structure. And so when I'm thinking about time zones, I literally have to think about the direction that the Earth orbits, or the direction of the Earth rotates, and think about, okay, if it's spinning this way, then the sun's coming up that way, which means that this side is going to be earlier than that side, and I have to think about that and then count all the time zones out. So I totally screwed up the time that this show was going to be running, like over and over and over in crazy ways. I miscounted the conversion over to Universal Coordinated Time. I'm really sorry, guys. I have no idea how time or dates work. I just fumble through life.
yeah. Well, it's not too hard. You don't have to think about all of that you said you did. Just remember, like when you go east, it gets later. You go west, it gets earlier.
Yeah, that doesn't help me. I can never remember that.
Okay, well, then you're out of luck. All right.
I am out of luck.
Where did we leave off? So April 28th.
Yeah, we talked. Oh yeah. So I actually didn't complete that.
Okay.
So then we have on April 28th at 3:09 a.m. Eastern Time, a Soyuz 21A carrying Progress M27. And Progress missions, of course, are just cargo missions to the International Space Station. And we'll have links to the streaming sites in the show notes, so you can watch that one live.
Yep. And that's okay, yeah. And then April 29th, wow, the next day, a Proton M or Breeze. Yeah, so Proton M with the Breeze M was and that's the upper stage, right?
Yeah, it's a Breeze M.
Yeah, is launching MEXSAT 1. MEXSAT 1, I love that name. And yeah, so that's a it's still to be determined, so there's not too many details, but we just know that on April 29th, the Proton rocket is launching something called MEXSAT.
Yeah, and I don't even know if they're going to be doing a webcast. Honestly, you don't see that many Proton webcasts. They tend to drop those out. But anyway, it's launching out of Baikonur, And
So that's the next day. I mean,
yeah,
from the one before. That's pretty impressive. I mean, the Russians launch rockets like there's no tomorrow.
yeah. I mean, it's going off of a different pad,
Yeah,
but yeah, same. Baikonur is a factory. They can crank out
yeah.
launches. MECSAT 1 is a turnkey Boeing comm satellite. And what's really cool about this satellite bus is that it's got a big deployable dish that looks like a net that kind of just whoop, pops open.
Hmm.
If you're familiar with SMAP, it looks the same way. It's pretty cool. And this is part of a three satellite geostationary network that Mexico is building for both secure government communications and civilian telecommunications, mostly at sea.
Hmm.
So those are your launches for this week.
And that's all. Cool. Oh, and what's this next? Oh,
Oh, yeah, you say that. You say that thing.
which one's? Hold on, highlight it for me because I'm losing. Oh, Connor just wrote that in there, didn't he?
Connor, what'd you do?
I think he did. You're confusing me.
I think the last thing that they did was update the launch site.
Oh, okay. So we have breaking news, but not really. Yeah. So launch. Well, yeah. Launch site is from Baikonur, which I think we did have that. So yes, it's gonna be launched from Baikonur. What do? Explain to me because I'm feeling stupid. Well, what do these numbers mean right here that I'm highlighting?
Oh,
And these right
that's the
here.
launch pad. Yeah, it's
Oh,
site 239.
that's a really weird. Okay, that's how they do it. All right. Um, we don't really need to. Well,
No, we can
okay.
go right into the sign off.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's too. Thanks for that though. But like I said, these things, yeah, these stupid satellite launches, they kind of bore me unless it's something cool. Like when James
Yeah.
Webb goes up, then I'm all for it.
Well,
Okay.
the IRC channel has got a great suggestion. What if instead of calling it MECSAT, we call it TexMECSAT?
There you
That's
go.
interesting.
Yeah, with Faraday sauce. Cool.
What? Okay, so I imagine that a TexMECSAT would have to be a texahexaflexagon in a satellite.
I don't know what that is, but is that a shape that could exist in our space time continuum?
Yes.
Sure.
A texamexaflexagon absolutely works in outer space.
Okay. You don't need like a fourth dimension or anything, right?
No.
Okay. That kind of sounds like like a tesseract or something.
Yeah. No. So yeah, it's a Vi Hart reference. She made a hexaflexagon and turned it into a text.
Uh, I do remember that now. You're bringing a memory back.
Yeah.
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 Cool. All right. Random
You ready
reference.
to do our sign off powder, and then we can
Yes.
do some
So I changed
IFC
it.
combos.
I changed it a little bit. I don't know if I. Ooh, I wanted. Well, I need to move this up a little bit, but I'll cue you. All right. So those are your upcoming spaceflight events. And with that said, let's deorbit this show, this live show. Cue the music, which none of you are going to hear right now. And of course, as always, all of this music is brought to you by Ronald Jenkins. And check him out at ronaldjenkins.com.
You can send questions and comments to info@theorbitalmechanics.com.
And for more information on this episode, such as show notes and other links, visit our website at theorbitalmechanics.com.
Or connect with us on Twitter and Reddit at Orbital Podcast. And if you like this episode, please review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Big thanks to Strange1234 and LC Moore 1044 for submitting very kind reviews this week.
That's good. Yeah, actually, that worked perfectly. I was planning on mentioning those little, like reviews further up. But yeah. Sorry. So we're trying out a new outro or how to close out the show. So that's why we're talking about it right now.
Yeah, you notice that we swapped at least one thing. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
are we done? Is that the show?
Yeah, I think that's the show. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks to our live
Yeah,
audience.
don't go anywhere. If you guys want to
Yeah.
hang out, we'll hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, we could totally do that. So anyway, that wraps it up for today. And we will see you in 2 weeks later.
Awesome.
Bye.
Wow. I'm absolutely stunned that we have 12 viewers right now.
Still, yeah.
I totally expected everybody to skedaddle. Okay, so if anybody is watching and is not on the IRC channel, go to synirc.net, SynIRC, and there's a link in the sidebar that says chat with us. and it'll pop up. You can select like chat using a browser or something like that. And then it'll pop up a login. Annalise, if you want to text me, I will read your texts on the air. Um, but let's see. Can I review them somewhere other than on iTunes? Yeah, you can review us on Stitcher. That's about it. Is there a Google Android store for podcasts? Can we get in there?
Are you asking me because
Yeah, sure.
no, I mean, an Android store for podcasts. I mean, there's different podcast clients, but there's no central thing. I mean, yeah, you'd either have to use iTunes or Stitcher, or like what I've always done, because I don't use iTunes or anything. I just find the RSS feed, and that's just how I subscribe to things. I use Podcast Republic, I think, and they can find anything for you, but you can't do reviews if that's what you're asking.
Hey, Stephen Connor, I just sent you an invitation, so check your email.
And one thing I was going to put in here,
okay, so my wife is threatening to sext me because I said that I would read her text on the air. So I don't know if I'm gonna. Oh, she wants to see Ollivander. Ollie, come here, kitty cat.
I'm going to put a link right now in. I'll do it on the subreddit. I'm not sure where to put it. I think you guys should check this out. I mentioned this a while ago. This is a video to the. This is a YouTube video, and it has the whole album by Public Service Broadcasting, and it's called "The Race to Space" or "The Race for Space." It's really awesome. Just listen to it. Trust me. So I'm gonna put that in there. I was thinking that maybe we could have used that as the background music before the show began. I don't know if that's cool, if you can actually do that.
I don't know. You know what? I actually.
But it would work perfectly.
What did I do? Oh, I was testing out streaming audio through iTunes because I wanted to do SpaceX FM for the intro music before the show started. When I was doing the HDev footage, and I actually just pulled up a video out of my. Oh, hey, Steve. I just pulled a video out of my my videos folder, and it happened to be something that was not owned by me, and BBC actually blocked it and put a negative mark on my account. Hi, Steve. Wow. How you doing?
Wow, how did they do that? That's insane. BBC is they're yeah.
No, it's fine. It's their content. You know what?
But they're really.
It's kind of weird how quick they can catch that.
Yeah, because they don't play around with that. They find what's theirs and they say you can't have it.
Steve, I know that you're saying that you can't get your webcam to load up. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mecha Riddler. I tried. I really, really tried. Steve, if you can't get your webcam, you can at least get audio going, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi. Yeah, crank your mic up.
Yeah, let me get the...
Hey. How is this even happening? I can hear him. And I see a picture. Oh, send IRC chat with us.
Yo.
Hello?
Oh, there's Connor.
Hey, yeah, my video just decides to not work today. Spent all day working on it and it just decides to poop the bed today.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Welcome to my world.
Yep.
Hey, can you see me now?
Oh, I can see you.
Hey, there he is.
You have a beard. I don't think you had one the last time I saw you. It was like 6 months ago. Yeah, I can see. Hold on. I'm learning how to use this. So I click on you, and then you're on the camera. I click on Connor. It's his icon. There's Ben. There's me. No one wants to see that. Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is all. Yeah, like this whole thing's being set up by Ben mostly. So I mean, I'm still kind of in the dark about how it all works. I've never been in a live chat before. What?
I'll kick people if they get rowdy, but I'm not.
Okay, yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not messing with it. It's switching back and forth on its own.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep doing things on the side here. I'm trying to keep the bandwidth clear. Like I said, I don't know if it's really helping or not, but I'm just looking at who's doing what.
So what do you do? I'm imagining that you're like holding a cell phone up to the router and like cutting its throat in like a threatening gesture that you better behave.
No, yeah, I'm just I'm just using some utilities where you can basically like monitor like what's going on with various networks, as far as like the Wi-Fi, the router, blah blah blah, and you can see or at least you can see the MAC addresses of who's ever there, and then you can do what's called like you can do like this little
You really
deauthentication.
want to you don't want to say this. We're still on air. This is all going to be
Yeah,
public.
who's yeah, it's true. I mean, well, there's nothing really illegal about it, to be honest with you. It isn't like
No, it's just I don't
it's
know.
not, it isn't. I'm not hacking into anyone's Wi-Fi. I'm not getting like anything I shouldn't. I'm just it's this is for my landlord's sake because I've actually told her many times you need to upgrade that router because I can't handle all these people on here at the same time. She doesn't want to listen. She's yeah. So I'll show her. No, but I mean, yeah, so far it's working pretty well. We had a couple of hiccups there, but I'm surprised it worked as well as it did. So explain to me this this X chat thing or wherever I am. It's in irc.net.
Yeah.
And this is how you can. Is that how everyone else is? Because I see some people. So we have some people in Google Hangouts. We have Connor.
There's a couple people. Mini Elon's over there.
So how do I get to there? Because I see it gives me a bunch of options, some popular IRC clients.
Yeah,
So
click the browser. There's one that says use a browser client.
Basically, what happened was I annexed the Something Awful SynIRC spaceflight chat. So, hey guys, sorry about that.
Yeah, somebody looked like they were getting shitty with you. Is that real?
Oh no. Theta Ray? No. Take everything they say in there with a grain of salt.
Okay, so A, explain something awful to me because I know you have to pay to get into forums, and B, why are we getting referrals from there?
All right, so A, Something Awful is basically a normal. It's basically the L2 section of NASA spaceflight if there was nothing interesting there. and instead of $90 a month, it's $10 one-time fee, and we get referrals there because the person who actually referred me to this podcast, he's Venusian in the chat, and I'm going to butcher his name. I think it's Justin Cowart. He started posting it on there in the Spaceflight Mega thread, and I started posting as well, saying, "Oh, we did a podcast, and I did research for this thing, so you guys might want to listen." So that's why you're getting referrals. It's nothing seedy.
Oh, I didn't expect it was something seedy. I just, it's a referral there that I don't know what it is. So.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so sorry, I'm still over here doing this SynIRC. So where's the chat room? I have .net/what space something or other.
IRC's before your time, David.
Huh?
IRC's before your time.
Well, I know, but I thought that's where everyone was.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
If you have a chat line up in SynIRC in the IRC client, whatever you got,
yeah.
type /join pound spaceflight.
Okay, /join spaceflight.
Because somehow that's easier than a GUI.
Now is that like after I log in as a whatever my name and blah blah blah?
That should already be there, I think, if you're signed in, or it should give a. I don't use an IRC or a IRC's web-based thing. I'll just do it right now.
You know what, David?
Yeah.
Just mouse over the Hangouts window, and then you'll get a toolbar on the side, and one of those icons will be a green monitor with an arrow pointing sideways.
Mm-hmm.
You hover over it, it says screen share. Just click that and share your screen, and Connor will walk you through it.
Well, all I need is the address, which I think you just gave me, or provide a link to it. That's the easiest thing to put it.
Okay, I got to real quick say goodbye to my wife. She's going to bed.
Okay.
Kiss the dog for me.
Jeez. I assume she's like in the next room over, right? Or is she somewhere else?
No, she's on the other side of town right now.
Oh, okay. I'm just connected from.
Here, I'm gonna put something. Does this have a built-in chat Hangouts?
No, it doesn't.
All right, in the show notes, David, I'll post right under the sign-off. There's a CGI IRC. Just go to that, and then set your name to whatever, and set your channel to pound spaceflight, and you should be golden.
Okay, so pound spaceflight. Okay.
And spaceflight's all one word. All that fun stuff. Also, I apologize to anyone still listening for my awful Jersey accent. That's just something I can't help.
Okay, so to the 9 people still watching, if you have any questions you want us to answer on air, any of us, me, David, or the 2 research assistants. Apparently, IRC is a thing still. I thought it died with my dial-up modem. But if you want to ask us a question there, you can. Otherwise, you can tweet at us. We're Orbital Podcast. Or you can go on to basically any of... Well, go to our subreddit. That's /r/Orbital Podcast. And make a comment there. And if it's in one of the threads I started, I'll see it.
Yeah, see, I thought I knew how. Well, I have used like IRCs before. Many times I'm just not understanding the. I'm trying to do 10 things at once. Sorry. So pound space. It just gets me anywhere. No. Okay.
We have someone in the Reddit on the subreddit asking for the link to the IRC channel.
Yep, I'm already answering it.
Okay.
Oh man, beat me to it.
Well, I'm trying to give them actual instructions too.
Oh, I just gave him the web link.
See, I got the See, I have the link to CGI IRC sync IRC .net blah blah blah. And then you log in. Like I can type in my name or whatever. Log in channel. Whoops. Oh, there you go. It was spaceflight.
Oh wait, are you in? You're in Townsend IRC, aren't you?
No, well I was, but now I think I'm in the right one. But did you say it was spaceflight? No spaces.
Yeah, it was pun intended. Yes, just spaceflight, no spaces.
Spaceflight, no spaces. Okay. I should be in there.
What's your username, David?
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Wait, who's in the channel with you? Is it Andrew Huntley, Angelfish?
I don't see anyone. Maybe I typed something wrong. It says no ident response username prefix. Oh, hold on.
David, just start. David, just start over. Go to open up a new browser window.
Hold on. I don't even start a new browser. I know where I am. It's just this one little thing. Okay, I think I'm in here. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, it's because I typed in David. I thought I could just pick like my own little local name, but it doesn't work. You have to pick a completely unique name because apparently it's for the entire, you know what I mean? Like it's for the entire IRC chat thing.
Okay, so
Anyway.
if anybody's still having problems, out of the 7 viewers, I don't know how many people are going to stick around, because we're going to stop talking about IRC now. CGI IRC.syn IRC.net and specify hashtag spaceflight.
As interesting as Internet Relay Chat Protocol is, we're here to talk about space.
Interesting fact: this whole system of communication is years older than I am, which is depressing.
Well, you're a baby. I mean, when was IRC developed?
I don't know when it was developed, but I remember it being around, using it in the mid '90s, which is, just as the internet was getting going.
Yeah, I'm a child of '96.
You were born in '96?
Yes, sir.
My God, you're already young.
Oh, it was actually created in 1988, so it's 27 years old.
Wow, so IRC is before your time.
No, guess how I was able to do that math so quickly.
No, not yours, but how?
That's the year you were born?
Yeah. Yep. Now my secret's out.
You're old, but not that old. No. Wow. Yeah. So I haven't done an IRC thing in years, but I still remember how it works. It's fun. It kind of takes you back.
Yeah.
I don't remember what IRC about. I have vague memories of just. I have no idea. Like the internet of the late '90s. I don't even remember what I was doing.
I barely remember the late '90s. So, did anybody see the crazy Twitter storm that went on last night between me and David jumped in at the end, and Vax Headroom, who's Emery, jeez.
Yeah.
Emery, what's his name? He's a programmer for NASA, and Mini Elon, and I think there was another person there too. We were all just nerding out about Vax's 3D printed sea, 3D printed Sea Dragon, and it was just the cool. Yeah, yes, Steve was watching. It was just the coolest thing. He printed. He took really old like spec diagrams of Sea Dragon and drew a model in 123D and 3D printed it. And there were some really cool things in there that I didn't know were happening on Sea Dragon. So,
Is
the
anything
engine.
still happening on Sea Dragon? Sorry.
No. It's dead. It'd be cool to see it resurrected, but.
I was gonna say.
But the first stage actually was pointed at the top, and the tank actually went all the way up into that point. It wasn't just empty space. And that point actually sat inside the second stage engine bell.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? They were storing fuel inside the next stage's engine bell.
Huh.
Well, that's sort of like how the Soyuz does the stage 2-3 hot ignition. It's just every now and then you get a weird idea.
No. It would be like so hot ignition is weird. I mean, it makes sense, but like they actually stored fuel inside the bell of the next stage.
Yeah, it could work for like cooling.
No. It wasn't about cooling. It was just about making the overall height of the rocket
But
smaller.
I'm thinking of like side effects.
So there was a tank that kind of went up into that bell. You mean that had fuel in it?
Yeah. So imagine. I mean, it was just like a giant engine bell on the second stage, and the first stage just had like a triangle, like a cone on top that stuck inside the engine bell.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, it makes total sense. But how often do you have an engine bell that's big enough to fit a fuel tank inside?
Yeah, I guess not. I guess
when
not.
you're working with the Sea Dragon.
Yeah, when you're working with a Sea
Yeah,
Dragon.
exactly.
It's that big. I guess you can. Yeah. Yeah.
Burial at sea joke? What joke did I miss?
Because David asked if Sea Dragon was still a thing, and you said it was long dead. Could have done a burial at sea joke. You just waltzed past it.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the burial in space. Someone tweeted, I don't know, I responded to something about that, just some tweet that was made about burial in space being, a really bad idea, which it is.
Oh yeah, XKCD did a what if on that a couple weeks
Yeah, like
ago.
what if you're in space? Because what's the thing is, it's not burial at all. It's you're floating. You're not. Yeah, that's why it's a problem. And then I said something.
Now.
Yeah, and I said something about zombie sats. Get it? Like,
Isn't that one of isn't that Maston Technologies lander design? It's a zombie.
Yeah,
with an
it's
X.
called the zombie. I think zombie with an X, or no, maybe it is a Z. I don't remember.
It's an X.
Okay, so Helldesk, yes, you've absolutely got it. The second stage engine bell was big enough to fit around the top of the first stage fuel tank. The first stage fuel tank tapered, but yeah, that's exactly what happened. And Daniel, yes, I am still I'm not fascinated by the project, but it's a really cool one that was fairly well developed before it died. So
I suppose it seems kind of crazy. Like, could you ever? I mean, I guess if the physics work out, you can launch something that big from the sea. But
not only can you launch it, but it theoretically, and we don't see any reason why this wouldn't actually be the case. It was able to take the entire International Space Station in one go.
yeah.
The thing was built just to launch massive quantities of fuel, and then to be fully reusable on top of it. I mean, it's just.
Well, then that's something that I don't know, maybe merits looking into again if that's the case. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that, but just like you said, being reusable. And I watched that video that Emery had posted, that was recorded by Tomorrow, and he had said that this thing has such a huge thick wall that it could withstand falling back into the ocean without any kind of parachutes. It would just slam into the ocean and it would be fine. But I'm like, would that really be the case? I mean, I'm thinking.
Maybe this is a Sea Launch's grand plan that they're going to work their way up if they can get out of bankruptcy.
Yeah. I just read that they're calling it or something like that. They're kind of because they don't have any clients, right? They don't have anyone.
Well, Sea Launch recently has been less of a space program and more of a fireworks display company. So it's pretty obvious that they have less of a following than other companies.
Yeah, to say the least. That's sad, but I mean, it's a cool idea. It's just that no one really needs to, like, no one needs, because isn't it that the whole point of Sea Dragon was that they could launch from anywhere, right? And that was kind of like their selling point. I mean, apart from the problem that they can't launch anything, period. I mean, I don't know how much, I can't remember how much success they've had, but is it
let's
really
go to
that
Google.
necessary? You know, like whopping
Let's
summary.
see.
Yeah.
Well, I googled sea launch success rate, and the first thing that came up was sea launch rocket fails during liftoff. So that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that was, what, a couple years ago, a year ago?
2013.
2013, yeah. I do remember that. Yeah, launching from the sea, because then you could launch to any inclination you wanted to just by going there. But yeah, is it really? I don't know. But then again, SpaceX is landing on a barge, so maybe if they could, but they're not. They don't have any plans of launching from one.
Oh, sorry, Helldesk. What happened?
Oh God.
Yep.
Is that some random?
Yeah,
What is that noise I'm hearing?
ping Helldesk. Anyways, with Sea Launch, it had 36 launches, and of
Wait,
those,
can nobody ban this guy?
Helldesk is the guy in control, and I pinged him.
Oh, okay. He
okay.
probably just walked away from his desk or something.
Okay.
There we go.
Anyways, once again, I'm sorry, Helldesk. Out of the 36 successful or 36 launches in total, it had 3 complete failures and 1 launch anomaly.
Okay, 3 complete failures in 1 launch anomaly. All right, yeah. Well, that's. I guess that's getting further than I would have thought with 3 failures and 1 anomaly. SpaceX had what? Well, they didn't have. They had. I don't think they ever had a complete failure, but it was like incremental. So they never got anything even close to getting into orbit, right?
I think. Well, that means if they had 3 launch failures and 1 launch anomaly, that's 32 successful launches.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't. Hold on a second. So 32. Wait a minute. Okay.
Well, I'm looking it up because I'm pretty sure they have successfully launched stuff.
Yeah.
32 from the
Right?
looks of it.
Were they flying Zenits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they're
Hold on. I'm thinking of something else. Sorry. I'm not paying attention. Launch.
Yes.
Okay.
Their first 13 launches were successes. Their 14th had a launch anomaly.
No, launch the ICOF-1 was a failure.
Right.
Yeah, so it's they had
Oh,
a
you're
good
right.
run for the first 2.
Yeah. But so they did 13 launches with only 1 failure. That's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
And then they did 23 with only a failure and a launch anomaly. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's a lot better than I thought. I guess I should have looked into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I remember seeing the NSS-8 launch explosion. Jeez, that was insane. So what? Okay, so what? It's believed that the failure was caused by a foreign object being ingested by the engine, causing the rocket to crash immediately. So, do you guys know that SpaceX turbopumps can eat a washer or a nut? You can drop a
machine. Oh.
I have not heard that.
Yeah, they actually test the things by dropping a washer, or I'm sorry, a nut, like a bolt into the fuel supply.
Just blends it.
Yeah, it's like blend tech. It just goes, huh? Oh, okay, cool.
Wow.
Sounds like an episode of Will It Blend?
Yeah.
A little extreme, though.
Isn't that what happened with the Antares launch that failed? Wasn't one of the possible contributing factors is the turbopump ate something from some FOD?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
so
I thought there was a crack in the turbopump casing or
I think
something.
there were a lot of things that contributed to that.
I think looking at it, everybody went, okay, that's the turbopump, which honestly is a good best guess for any launch failure. But yeah, I think it was. I don't believe it was a foreign object. I think it was a crack in the casing, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Someone in IRC just made an interesting asking. I don't know the answer to this question, but Did they ever, or how close did they get to going to orbit before their prototype blew up? I think that was New Shepard.
They've never flown New Shepard, have they?
I don't
I don't
think
believe
so.
so.
Was that New Shepard, or was it a vehicle of a different name?
No, New Shepard is what they developed the. They just announced the engine that's going to be flying on Blue Shepard. It's not their Methalox engine. It's their it's an H2, liquid hydrogen rocket, and I don't think New Shepard ever flew.
I don't think so either.
They're pretty tight-lipped about what they do. I mean, that recent announcement was interesting to hear.
Well, I mean, they work for Boeing basically at this point, right?
Well,
Or
they're gonna.
ULA.
They partnered up with ULA, so I guess kinda, but
I guess they want their engines though available to other users. They've stated that before, and they've stated that they're going to use their engines on their own launch vehicles.
Well, good for them. I mean,
yeah, I'm just reading a little bit on the Wikipedia article. I don't think it ever flew once. There was a subscale demonstration vehicle made its first flight on November 13th, 2000.
oh god, here he comes. There he is.
What? Did I go out somewhere?
Oh yeah. No, not yet.
I watched
I
that
don't
gamer
know. Oh,
log
okay.
back in. And Heldesk is on top of it this time.
Yeah, according
Is this-
to Venusian, this has been a thing that's been happening a while.
Yeah. Why can't you permaban somebody?
Well, because they probably log in with a slightly different name, so
Or if you IP ban, I think there's ways around that via proxies.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He totally is using slightly different usernames.
So it just logs right back in again. Yeah, they should ban the IP. That's a good idea.
Oh, nice. It looks like Heldesk banned part of his username.
That's a good idea. I can't believe that's a problem. I mean, like, of all the various, I don't know how many little, like, chat rooms there are, but it's just like a bot of some sort, maybe,
I don't know.
partially.
IRC
like-
is still a big thing, at least in the circles I'm involved with.
Yeah, so who has the time is what I'm asking to actually do this.
Valid question.
It seems like more, God, you got to be a real dedicated troll or a spammer or whatever, like it's a full-time.
Oh boy. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Unless anybody has anything in particular to talk about, I'm about ready to log off. Honestly, I think we should probably do our own version of Space Hangouts at some point, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Do any of you guys watch Weekly Space Hangout?
Occasionally I do.
Yeah, I think we could do a weekly space flight hangout. That'd be pretty fun.
I'm always up for that.
Okay, well, yeah, unless anybody had anything specific to talk about, I'm going to hang up because it's my bedtime. I got to get up early. Do you guys know what I do?
Something with crash test dummies.
Oh, well, actually, it's before Crash Test Dummy. So I'm telling the Crash Test Dummy people what to do, basically. I go out and study real crashes, and then that informs their what choices they make in the lab. But I've got a scene downtown Chicago that I got to go document, and the only time I can do it is early Saturday morning because otherwise it's too busy. So I'm getting up early tomorrow.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I'm there in case you're kind of going out again. All right, yeah, I guess we should probably go. I'm getting tired of playing like whack-a-mole with all these people. It's not nice. Okay, but that was fun. Thanks for coming. I'm surprised like it worked out as well as it did, really, and we'll hopefully get better.
Yeah, let me hang on. I'm gonna. I think this is just gonna stop the live cast. Hang on.